Peace and welcome to another episode, another installment of Shifting Perspectives, the Think Tank. So I'm gonna get started here in a few minutes. Let the music play for a bit. Let the stream get out to whoever it may get out to. And this shouldn't be as long as the other episode of the Think Tank, which of course is available on my channel. You can go ahead and check that out when you find the time after the stream. Also, link to my book is down in the description box. So that is the starting point of all of this that I'm about to go into today. Is the starting point of what I talked about in the previous episode of the Think Tank. And so yes, the book is where it all begins, but it's not the beginning and end of my perspective. It's just the starting point. What's the term? Scratching the surface in the book. However, the book goes very deep. It's, chapters. Each chapter is set idea, very clear, concise walkthrough of each point of my perspective. So that is very, very crucial, I would say. Very key component to fully understanding where I'm coming from, why I am the way I am, why I think the way that I think, see things the way that I do. So if anyone's interested, again, the book is linked down in the description box. So that's where it all starts. Very easy read. It's made in a way to where you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't need a degree to figure it out. It's easy enough from babies to the elderly to read and to digest and understand. So just wanted to start off with that. And there's something else I want to say as like a disclaimer, kind of a precursor to the stream, but I'm just gonna hold off for another couple minutes before diving into the Think Tank. So on that note, I'm gonna cut my mic. I'm gonna get up from the chair, but I will be right back after a short, I kind of want to say intermission, but we're just getting into the intro, so it's like a intro mission. It's a new term coined right here live, intro mission. So I will be right back. Enjoy the vibes for just a couple minutes. I'll be back soon. I was like, I just realized I had the music playing out of my speakers the whole time. Let me look at my stream to see what, because before I went live, I had to make sure the audio and everything, I'm doing my checks, so I had my speakers on. So this whole time, I stopped speaking, and I start seeing the music and the movement of the mic. I'm like, I'm not talking. Where's the input coming? Where's the signal coming from? And I see the speakers are on. So hopefully it wasn't like flooding my audio. Let me check. All right. Thankfully, the Wasn't too bad of an issue, the mistake that I just made with the audio. But yes, so like I was saying, I'm just gonna step away for a couple minutes. So perfect time to grab a snack, grab a drink, grab a pen and a pad, a piece of paper, something if you want to take notes. But we will be diving into the think tank. So if you're just getting here, I see some of the concurrent viewers jumping between 1 and 2. Welcome. If you're just coming through, this is a perfect time to scroll back and see and hear what I had to say to start the stream. So yes, I'll be back in about 2-3 minutes, about 3 minutes, and then we're diving in. The theme of this presentation, this episode, this installment of the think tank is signs of incompatibility to this realm. Signs of incompatibility to this realm. I want to add to, I kind of want to say, and why. Signs of incompatibility to this realm that I finally see clearly to give me reason to not come back here, to not reincarnate. And we've been through this before in my other discussions. I've spoken at length about this. The fact that reincarnation is real, you know, and it's just as simple as having children. That is you reincarnating. You put your energy into that life manifesting, just like your parents put their energy into your life manifesting. Their parents put their energy into their lives manifesting. It's all a track, like a track record of this same form of energy being recycled, reincarnated. That is reincarnation, having children. It's not, oh, when I die, I want to come back as a butterfly. I want to come back as a donkey. Some people, I don't know. It's like, that's what people always think. Oh, when I reincarnate, I'm going to come back as some type of an animal. It's not going to happen that way. You reincarnate and you see yourself. It doesn't have to happen after you die. It's something that you see, and it's here and now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, no way around it. It is what it is. Think what you want. Think, oh, reincarnation isn't real. You're crazy. Meanwhile, live on with your ignorant bliss in your fantasy world, where what's the worst that could happen? We're gonna get into what the worst that can happen is, and why there's signs of incompatibility to this realm. I'm gonna make it clear. It's gonna be very reasonable, very logical, as I always keep it, very simple enough to, because that's what it is. This life is so simple, but I see it being made to be so difficult, so many layers, so much complexity. And it's not, you're tricked, you're distracted. This is, once you figure it out, once you realize, because it's not figuring out, because I haven't figured it all out, but I've realized a whole lot that has just enabled me to sit back, look at all of this, just, I'm good, I'm out of here, see ya. It's like I always stress the fact that I appreciate all of this. I love all this. I plan to be here for a good amount of time from this point forward in order to experience more of this, take everything in, all that I can. But at the end of the day, I'm ready to get the fuck up out of here. That is what it is. I'm not in a rush. I love it. I love the pain. I love the struggle. That's what I'm going to be getting into right now. And then here in a few minutes, pain and struggle in particular. I love it. I can't stress enough how I love it, because it's, for me, I see it for what it's supposed to be seen and taken for. It's not supposed to be for us to dwell in the pain and the struggle and the worry and all these different things, aspects of life. It's in order for us to realize, to appreciate our body and our life, our health, to realize that it's just a moment. This is just a transition. It's just an experience. This is not all that is. This isn't it. So, there's people out there, the powers that be, and they, them, all the spooky entities and groups. It's like, who are fighting teeth and nail to. It's funny, I just said like an expression, and I just recently have been talking about expressions, like where did it come from, who said it, why did it stick, like that one, fighting teeth and nail, whatever. It's like, what? But whatever. There's people, there's entities, there's groups out there who are fighting to control the masses, fighting to shape reality for others. It's like, me, I see it. I don't like it. However, there's millions, the majority of people don't see it, or they do see it and they just, whatever, I'm still living, I'm still breathing. And it's like, for me, to those people, those groups, whatever the case may be, they're trying to control and have so much power in this world and everything. It's like, once again, me, I'm like, have it. I'm out of here. See y'all when I see y'all. Some other lifeline, not lifetime, because I'm out of this timeline. I'll see you next lifeline somewhere else. I'm done. And potentially, possibly, by the end of this presentation, you too will be done. You too will be through. So yes, at this time, I'm gonna get up for just a couple minutes. I will be back about 2-3 minutes. Enjoy the vibes. Just gotta get a couple things situated. So be right back, and we'll be jumping in the think tank. So make sure you got your bathing suits, your goggles, all that. Make sure you got everything ready. So we about to dive in. I'll be right back. Let me see if I can do that. All right, here we go. Think Tank, let's get it started. Falu, I believe that's your name. What is the Think Tank? The Think Tank is a place that is not for the faint of heart, a place where things get real, where I bring my perspective of life to the masses and share it. So first off, before I get too deep into what Think Tank is, and we're getting into the actual episode here, I want to start with the name change. Changing my name on here from Audible Alchemy, as you see right here. I didn't update the picture. The name is no longer Audible Alchemy. The name is now Hillsight. One thing that I realized, for those who don't know, Audible Alchemy started on TikTok, and there's a whole story behind it, a lot of craziness that brought me over to YouTube. But through TikTok, going on to TikTok and building the platform there, my intention was to help people day to day in their experience, or with their experience in this world, to bring calm, ease, healing through sound work, sound bowls and tongue drum chimes, different sound healing devices. But what I've come to realize is that I'm not here to help people on a day-to-day basis to get through life, to live life. My purpose, what I realized, is solely, before I say it, for me to simply help people, ease their way through life and feel comfort or feel healing, things like that, would be me contributing to the cycle of comfort, the cycle of reincarnation. My sole purpose, what I realize, is that I'm here to find the ones who have not yet reincarnated, aka had children. When you have children, you reincarnate. So I'm not even looking, I'm just sending a beacon pretty much out to the people who question this reality. People who at times may feel trapped, may feel like this is a prison realm. To the people who are trying to figure it out. The people who are looking for and are ready for a way out. Those are the people. That's my purpose. That's my reason for being here. Because I have realized the way out, the way to break the system, to beat the matrix, whatever you want to call it. And it's so simple. It's not even anything that you have to do. It's all about realization. That's all it is realizing what's right in front of your eyes. It's that simple, it's that easy. Just taking the blinders off, breaking away from distractions, from propaganda, from misinformation, and seeing everything clearly. That's my purpose. So if you do have children, if you've already reincarnated, my message is not for you, but you're welcome to stick around and hear, see, experience my reality, my perspective. And you might at some point think, wow, I never saw it that way. You know, and fortunately, it's too late this time around, but it's something that if, you know, for the people who have already reincarnated, like the information that's in my book, once again, it's linked in the description. The information in my book, the information from the first Think Tank episode, the information in this episode could be, you know, if I make someone realize something like, oh, I never saw it that way. Oh, I never thought of it that way. Wow, yeah. Take that information and pass it on in your way to the next generation, or simply have them at some point see this, you know, or read my book. So yes, with that being said, name change, Audible Alchemy to Hillsight. I'm less, my intention is less of dealing with sound, solely with sound or primarily with sound, to get my message across, to get my energy across to people. And now, because of all of what I realized and how, you know, I'm once again saying that I'm not here to help people through this life, but here to help the ones that are trying to get out. I realize now why exactly Audible Alchemy didn't sustain on TikTok, and why I was being hit with these outlandish restrictions from live streaming, all types of things that were going like just wildly astray, where, you know, I was doing nothing, absolutely nothing in the wrong, only logging on and going live or uploading content with positive, you know, intentions, trying to help and heal. And I was getting hit, just blocked, because I saw what I was doing. But now I realize that it's because that wasn't my purpose. It wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to sustain in that way. So I'm fully fine with where that went and where I am now with Hillsight. Hillsight is, my last name is Hill. Sight is not just my physical sight that I'll be sharing, you know, my perspective. If you check my channel, I have a couple new uploads of me out in nature recording. So it's not just me sharing my physical sight and perspective of life, but also like how I'm coming here. You know, I'll have pop-ups, maybe few and far between at this point, because I feel like this here is probably one of the most profound, the most simply profound realizations that I've had, to where it's like, I don't know if I have much more to say after today's presentation. But yes, the Hill sight is physical sight and also my insight, my perspective. So that's that as far as the name change. So with that being said, I think I want to go ahead and begin. So again, the theme of this episode of the Think Tank is signs of incompatibility to this realm that I finally have realized and see clearly, and have given me even more reinforcement to not reincarnate, aka have children, and thus break the cycle of coming back. So, and this is me. I have, you know, my notepad, my note app in my phone, I have various, what could be various episodes of the Think Tank, or other. I could talk about near-death experiences, outer body experiences. I could talk about dreams, lucid dreams, a bunch of notes that I have. So again, the insight pop-ups, or even video content. I'm thinking of doing a video of one of my dreams, like putting one of my dreams into video form and sharing, to see what people's perspective, what they make of it, what if there's anything that they could think to put it together. Because I have There's one dream. I have many, but there's this one that I wrote down that is fucking wild. But it wasn't a dream. I keep saying dream, but it was an experience. Like, it was full on, full awareness, full like feeling of everything. Because in dreams you don't feel temperature. And when have you been in a dream where it's like, or I can only speak on myself. I don't think I've been in a dream where I'm like walking in the rain, getting wet or anything like that. Feeling the wetness, feeling myself sweating in certain situations, the heat or the wind, things like that. I at least typically in what I can clearly separate from a dream to an experience that I have. There's like different things that went on that clearly showed me that it was an experience, definitely more than a dream. And I'll also talked about how I'm able to intentionally put myself into an experience state instead of a dream state. Like, I can go to sleep just go to sleep and I might have a dream tonight, but I can actually lay down. If I lay on my stomach for whatever reason, I don't know why, but if I lay on my stomach, go to sleep, fall asleep on my stomach, every single time, doesn't miss, hits every time on target. It's like I go into an experience. And however, there's a side effect to it. For some reason, whenever I come out of it and I wake up, I'm drenched in sweat. Like, I have to wash all my bedding, everything. So it's like I know every time it's like, all right, I want to have this experience, but I know what's gonna come out of it. And that's the thing that's like, it sucks. But it's like a balancing, a give and take of if I want to go there. So, but yeah, it's very, very interesting. But on that note, let's go ahead and really dive into the think tank. So once again, I'll just want for one more time, because I'm going to put a timestamp after this live stream to say, like, stream starts at whatever time marker. Where are we at? How far? 21 minutes into the stream. So yeah, 30 minutes in. All right. So this is the think tank, and the theme of this episode is signs of incompatibility to this realm that I finally realized, and give me even more reason not to reincarnate and come back, to give me reinforcement of breaking out of the matrix, breaking the cycle, freeing my energy from this realm. So let's begin. Could certain ailments, conditions, etc. be signs that you're incompatible with this world and you're just missing them? Let's think about it. Taking myself for example, I grew up with severe seasonal allergies to the point that I had conjunctivitis, and you can look up what conjunctivitis is, but just as a little quick run through, it's like your eyes, people could say the Sandman visited you last night and all that stuff. It's like when that stuff, the fluids of your eye, the secretions are like so amplified to the point where it's almost like snot coming out of your eyes. That's the best way to put it, the easiest, simplest way to put it. So I had conjunctivitis so bad that I would wake up not able to open my eyes until soaking them with a warm washcloth. So I would wake up when I was younger, and I'm talking like adolescent years, just very just child, into I would say my teens. But like, yeah, and with around those years, there was days that I would wake up and my eyes were crusted, closed. to the point that I could not open them until soaking them and getting and like softening and then finally like easing away all of the gunk, because it would like secrete through the night and then dry up and crust over. My eyes would literally I'd be blinded to start my day. So although it seems I've grown out of them, my allergies, I still have some occasional days of light reactions each year. But why? Why am I and many others incompatible with this world to the point that we've at some point, at least once, had an excruciating day of suffering? Why did I have to suffer as a child from this experience that we call life? I had days, my family can attest to it as witnesses, my mother, my sisters, excruciating days, waking up crying because I can't see. I can't see my eyes. Like, why? Why would I have to go through that as a child in this world? Something that I question. I'll get to the logical reason, but let's look at more signs. How about partial to full deafness, color blindness, full blindness? In a world of so many sounds and colors, why are some people incompatible and essentially stripped of the full potential experience on varying levels? How about sickness and diseases in general? Why is it that people develop things, catch things, etc., from the common cold to life-ending diseases? I don't just think about and question these things for my current existence, but for the line of generations before me that experienced different signs of incompatibilities that got me here. So, I don't know if I wrote about this in particular, let me see. But to say, like, as far as allergies go, I know that my father had allergies. I'm not sure about his father or my mother's father, but there's, at least from the last generation, there was the sign of like allergies, incompatibility. And there's and you know, again, there's more than it's just simple as the common cold, catching the common cold. It's like something that's inevitable of pain and suffering. And when I say pain, it doesn't have to be like excruciating or life-threatening. You know, having the common cold, as far as compared to a normal day of existence, having the common cold, it like takes away from that. You know, there's an element of pain, of suffering, of sacrifice. So, let's see, where are we? I've spoken many times on how we're the current representation of the source energy through our lineage. Your parents' energy made you, their parents' energy made them, and so on, going all the way back to the source. So when I speak on my experience, I realize that it's not just mine, and that the generations before me also have had signs of incompatibility, but they went unseen and unappreciated. We, through me, have reached the point of full realization and appreciation of this world and the experience we call life. I've come to realize that people blindly love pain, suffering, and incompatibilities on various levels to the point that they reincarnate, aka have children, just to go through more of it. Think about it. Any and everyone who has children has come back through them to get sick again throughout life. And who knows what you'll catch this new time around, you know, or you, aka your child or children. Be subjected to needles and vaccinations, or, well, I was supposed to say vacations. I even wrote vacations in the text to tread lightly, but fuck it. Yeah, be subjected to that. Developing ailments, the list goes on. How about other signs through variables like driving or being a passenger in a car? I've seen police cam videos where detectives had to go explain the death of a child to the parents because they were a passenger, not even the driver. They were a passenger in a vehicle with a drunk driver. So, or myself, having gone through as much pain and suffering as I have with my body throughout my life, I've reached a point where I can't imagine having a child go through what I did, or potentially worse. And you know, going back to the driving thing, it's like, just imagine, I can't imagine. It's just the inevitable potential of this world when you step outside of what's the worst that could happen and get out of the ignorant bliss. You see the infinite, inevitable potentials of this world. And it's like, I cannot bring a child in this world knowing that potentially, you know, I can put in all of the greatness, the positivity, you know, respect, appreciation, and raise them to be the best that I possibly could do. But if they choose, you know, to go off, live their life, get tied into the, you know, influenced and tied into the wrong crowd, and fucking end up becoming a meth head, or they get behind the wheel with a drunk driver, and then, you know, they're the passenger of behind the wheel with a drunk driver, end up wrapped around a pole or something. It's like, the fact that I know that it can happen keeps me away from wanting it to possibly happen. So, you know, and especially the driving, that's a big thing, you know, because when I leave, I've had I talk about this, situations where I'm in a line trying to return something, or even like buy something, return something, and someone holding the line up in front of me, and they'll turn around, oh, I'm so sorry for holding the line up. It's like, no, the fuck you're not. Just turn your ass around, do what you're doing, and go on with your life. But me, what I tell people, and this is the fact, is that, like, when people say stuff like that to me, I'll be like, I don't leave the house I don't leave the house in a rush. I never leave home in a rush. So you turning around, apologizing to me, I'm still gonna have to fucking stand here regardless. Just turn around, go on about your business. Just live your life. Because the apology is fake. So yeah, it's like, I never leave the house in a rush. And I piss people off on the road. Like, if it's 25 miles an hour, the main road out here from where I live, 25 miles an hour, I'll do 27 max. And there's people riding on my ass, trying to get around, and like edging over to like try to indicate to me that they're trying to get around and shit like that. And people going 30, 35. I take my sweet ass time wherever I go. It's like, if I want to go faster, I'll go faster on my accord. It's like, other than that, you know, I've had people honking at me. I've had people, this one time, sort of recently, this guy gets around me and then holds his washer fluid on, as if like it's gonna, he was so pissed that I guess that's just the only thing he could think to do. I'm gonna freaking flood his window with washer fluid. I'm like, okay. I just turn my wipers on, like, thanks for the the free windshield wash, motherfucker, like, stupid ass. So it's just like, because my motto, I'd rather lose a second from my life than lose my life in a second. So, but that's something that, you know, I live with. But if I was to have children, I might fucking give birth to the next speed racer, a fucking speed demon. It's just, you can't get enough of pedal to the metal. I might tell them, you know, be safe out there on the road. You'd rather lose a second from your life than your life in a second. I'm telling you, this motherfucker just goes out there, boom, wrapped around a telephone pole. No thank you, not me. I'm not taking the chance. I'm not rolling the dice. So, where are we? Okay, I did speak on, okay, so here we go. Both me and my father dealt with allergies. Remember back to the beginning of my experience waking up and the suffering as a child that I went through. So more than likely, if I come back, aka have a child, reincarnate, I'll have to potentially see them, which is myself and my lineage, my source energy, once again, suffer at some point. Or see them grow to the point that they decide to go out with friends one night, and next time I see them is at a scene or in a morgue. The potential and possibilities of signs are endless. I know that I'm a great driver, but I worry on the road every time I drive about everyone else, the people in a rush and inconsiderate of other life. I have my whole life ahead of me, having to deal with that. So I can't imagine what my mind would be like having a child, knowing they're out on the roads in the conditions I've been in or potentially worse. Just not a gamble, not a chance I'm willing to take. So I could go on and on of different examples and scenarios, whether they be personal, observed, or theoretical signs where I finally felt my higher, awakened, full conscious self in the aha moment of, it's time to realize the painful truth in order to escape the pain. So many generations before me, iterations of the shared source energy, have experienced and lived past many signs that were no longer supposed to be here. It makes sense to me that at a time, this world was perfect. And that's perfect. Just think of that, perfection. What is perfection if there's nothing to gauge it to? You can't have good without having bad. So good had to have been experienced, bad had to have been experienced. It has to have it be known. So at some point, people always say, oh, nothing's perfect, you can't reach perfection. At some point, perfection was a thing. It was a clearly defined, clearly to be experienced reality. There was perfection, or we would not have the word to that on the spectrum of like perfect and what's the word I'm looking for? Like tarnished, or you could say whatever for the low end, but there's a reason why perfect is a thing, is an idea, because it was once a thing in my reality, the way I see it. So it makes sense to me that at a time this world was perfect, but something changed and in came pain and suffering. I feel like, I'm not sure if I said this, but I'm just gonna say, I might repeat it as I go on, but I feel like we were meant to come here, experience this physical realm, maybe have a generation or two, and that be the end of it. Like, be able to experience physical, like, incarnation, that first point, and then to experience reincarnation, to see and feel and know what it was, but not to get trapped in it. And then in came pain and suffering along with it. So, and I think as a direct correlation to the repetition, it's like, okay, you want to get stuck here and keep repeating, and you're not supposed to be here. It's just for a moment. It's just a time stamp. It's just an experience, but you want to keep coming back. All right. It's like higher self is going to show you that why you're not supposed to be here, why it's time to go, why it's time to move on and be free. So, but a lot of people see them as, oh, it's just life. It's just life. I just, so many signs. So where am I? At that point, I feel that we should have stopped reincarnating and returned to our higher selves, but it's almost as if we just can't get enough of this physical realm, regardless of the pain and suffering on various levels, from minor to major. I've had enough. My branch of the energy has had enough. I fully appreciate the allergies, the injuries, the external variables of society, and everything else in life that has and can cause some degree of suffering, to the point that I realize the only way out is not to come back. That is this episode of the Think Tank, but I do want to add on to a post that my brother Ra made recently. He talked about the life of an artist, a creator, where, especially an unknown or locally known, you could be like a small small following on social media, of how so little appreciation is given to them, and acknowledgement, recognition. You know, you put so much time into editing a video, as I have. You know, you can check my videos. The last two that I just posted, me out in nature filming. I feel like I've captured some great shots and made a great relaxing moment to be shared. But I know that it's not going to be accepted and appreciated and enjoyed and experienced by many, if any, people close to me. I know that I'm not going to get, or I'm not expecting comments and stuff like that, and you know, oh wow, that was a nice angle, that's great framing, nice shot, so relaxing, thank you for sharing this, and wow, what a beautiful views and perspective and all that. It's like, I used to want that and search for it, expect it, but I came to the realization that that is the destination. People's reactions and acknowledgement and appreciation, feedback, that's just the destination. I'm here for the journey. So I'm all about the process now, you know, and giving myself all the praise and all the acknowledgement and all the appreciation that I expect, or that I wanted, or I searched for, sought out from others, because I realize, you know, it's fake. When you realize, yo, I came here alone, I'm leaving here alone, I gotta make the most of this for me, by me, for me. You know, I can only make myself as happy as I want to be. I can only make myself as upset as I want to be. Everything else is just fluff at this point, the way I see it. You know, I can say, yeah, I appreciate it if, you know, I get a comment or some recognition or some appreciation. I could, you know, say thank you, I appreciate it. But, and I still genuinely do, but it's nowhere near the level of appreciation that I give myself now. The value that I know of myself, that I know that others, so many others are missing. You know, and I can speak highly of myself, but if you know me, I'm one of the most humble, just want to be left alone. I don't care to be in the mix and try to show my greatness. I know my greatness. I don't have to show it. I don't have to put it like a show and tell presentation. I just show it by sharing. That's it. You know, not caring. Sharing, not caring. I just put it out there, and just because knowing that at some point none of it will have mattered. Like, everything matters to me spiritually, but I mean physically, as me being in this world physically, and the reactions and feedback from outsiders and all that stuff to my art, to my work, to what I share, to my music. It's like, when I'm gone, none of that matters. I've used the example in my book how 500 years down into the future, people could come across my music, my artwork, my paintings, anything, my videos, all of what I've created, and just as a collective society decide that I was the worst artist to ever live. I could be voted like unanimously, put my face on billboards, make a brown shit color statue of me in front of in the nation capital, and have every Sunday at 2 p.m. we throw tomatoes at the billboards, and then we put up new ones so we can do it again next week, and just splatter my face with tomatoes as a holiday. All of that could happen, but I won't be here to give a fuck about it. So why care now? And going along, another thing, how my brother Rob closed off with the sentiment of just keep doing, just keep going, keep pushing. And what I want to add to that is forget the destination. It doesn't matter. Because when you have the destination in sight, that means you're on rails. You have your path defined. But when there is no destination, the journey can take you so many places. You just never know. So that's what, it comes down to what I'm on. I'm on a never-ending journey to the freedom of my energy from this physical realm that's stricken with, riddled with sickness, pain, suffering, incompatibilities, allergies, disease, ailments, disorders, all these different things. It's like, why? It just doesn't make sense. If we are meant to be here, there would be none of that. It just, please, anyone in the comments, if you see this, if you have a reason, I know, it's part of life. It's just how life goes. Yes. It's dwelling on the surface, surface dwellers. That's exactly what they would say. But, realize, and a lot of them would say that because, out of fear of realization of the truth. And that is to me, and you can prove me otherwise, try to prove me otherwise in the comments, but to me, all of the incompatibilities that I've listed and I've gone through, what else? There's nothing else that it could be than signs and signals that we are not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be coming back here. We're not supposed to be subjecting ourselves, aka our children, to all these things. It's like, is it fun? If there's any parents, please let me know in the comments. Like, you want to have fun in life, right? You want to enjoy life. Each day should be full of joy. You can make each day full of joy. So why would you have a child who or multiple children that because you've been through it, your parents been through it, their 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 parents been through it. They're gonna be hit with the cold, with the flu. They might develop cancer. They might get in a car accident. They might get hit by a car crossing the street. They might get food poisoning. They might, all these different things. What is fair about it? What is fun about it? What's enjoyable about it? Even when it comes down to changing a diaper. It's like, to be a father, it's like, I want to change shitty diapers. It's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it because it's coming. Me, I'd rather make some music. I'd rather go out and record videos. Like, all that time, all those diaper changes, those minutes compound into probably years, if not months, if not years worth of time where I could be enjoying life and not smelling shit, getting it on my hands, and just like, I'm good. No thanks. I'm out of here. See you in another lifeline. There's just so many things. I could just go on and on and on of signs signals and like the reasons for me that make me comfortable with this being my last time around. You know, relationships, another thing that's overrated. Like, that's another thing that I don't think a lot of people don't realize and don't think about, don't consider, is the fact that they're not emotionally mature enough to even be parents, to even have children. Because there's, again, the inevitable potential that your spouse dies tomorrow. Are you ready for that emotionally? Are you ready for that financially? Especially if both parents were, like, you know, everything that they were putting, every penny was going towards the family, like everything was being used. Now half of that's gone. Are you ready for that? You know, again, like the emotional aspect of it, not having that person for the rest of your life, potentially, it could happen. Are you ready for that? It's like me, I'm good. I've dealt with enough, again, pain, suffering, all those things with myself to the greatest degree that I'm like, I'll have physical interactions, connections safely at my will, you know, with whoever I want without getting into a relationship. I don't care for it. There's nothing in it that is conducive to my life, to me enjoying every moment of my life. You know, I voluntarily invite the potential of disagreements and arguments and different things of let's take a break and all these different things, cheating and all different potential and inevitable potentials, to where it's just like, I could have, just to put it in layman's terms, I could just live my life with a roster, and you know, have travel from my games. Not be locked, be a free agent, open roster. Like, you know, if you get what I mean, you get what I mean. Like, there's nothing that I have no care, no desire. There's nothing, because it always comes with, you know, either I'm gonna die or they're gonna die, or we're gonna or break up or whatever before that happens. But at some point, there's gonna be a separation. There's gonna be those emotions to deal with, finances and all those things to consider. And it's like, I see all that before getting into it, whereas most people get into it, then the shit happens, and then they see it when it's too late. So, and this is going into the Doctor Strange power that, you know I fully, what they show you in the movie and put it into entertainment, of him being able to see every situation, every outcome of every possible situation. That's like, that is how I live my life, and that's what has gotten me to, you know, this is the end game. This is Marvel Endgame, living real life right now. And I see the one, he's like, how many situations, how many possibilities were there? 37,456,000,071. And how many ways can we fix it, or whatever? How many solutions? Just one. I found it. Oh, I found it. So yeah, on that note, once again, this is just a beacon for those who those who question, those who are looking for a way out, who may feel imprisoned, who however you see it, to where, you know, who want the people who are trying to figure it out or looking to break from the matrix. The beacon is out there. This is yet another layer of reinforcement for you. If you choose to join me on the other side. So until the next one, I'm out. Peace.